me the story of Jesus. Write on my heart every word.
I know the day has just started, but has it been a rough day? Maybe this week or last week. But was it rough? Was it challenging for you? That happens to all of us, right? Recently, it seems like for me, life just gets busier and busier. I'm always running from one place to the next. I never know where I'm going, what's going on. Life just becomes more challenging. But how can life be challenging for us as Christians, right? Maybe for the world, maybe we would justify, we'd understand if the world had to suffer, right? If the world felt lost, the world felt overwhelmed with things, right? There are people who are not united with God, but we're God's people. Isn't God supposed to make things better and easier for us? Isn't God supposed to prevent bad things from happening? Well, if you pay attention to those questions I asked you, you already know the answer. You see, God's not supposed to keep the bad things from happening. He's not supposed to make things easier just because we become Christians. Now, how do we know that? Let's take example of in the garden. Take Adam and Eve there, right? If God was going to take bad things away or those things, He absolutely could have removed the tree, could have put a fence around it, right? There's things God could have done so that they would not have fallen, so they would not have been tempted, right? But God's not going to interfere with our free will. Consider this. God could have Bathsheba bathe inside, could have had David sent off to war, right? He could have made where those two never would have met, where they never would have saw each other. But yet, again, in that instance that David had a choice. What was he going to do? God could have kept His people out of being enslaved in Egypt, right? He brings them out of the enslavement. He could have absolutely prevented them from ever being in that state. But yet, they go and they live there and they become enslaved there. There's a lot of things that God could have done, but the world here is not meant to be the end. This is not to be perfect. This is not meant to be paradise. But yet there's a place that we wait for, we long for. You see, while God will not always prevent bad things from happening around us, He will be with us in those tough situations. You see, God was with His people in the wilderness. Again, as He freed them out of Egypt, He then spends time with them. He doesn't just let them go in the wilderness all by themselves, but He's right there with them with each struggle. Each time they became hungry, each time they felt like they were a little dehydrated, when they worried about being clothed, God was there and provided for them. We know that God was there with David when he goes up against Goliath. David was someone who could not compare to the stature, the statistics that Goliath had on him. But yet David reminds Saul and the others, listen, God's on my side. God is here with me. You have David, you have Daniel in the lion's den. I never want to be thrown into a lion's den. I don't want to be thrown into the captivity at the zoo. And they show videos of all the times that the lions get along really well with their handlers and those things. The lion doesn't know me, right? He just sees me as a free lunch. I don't want to ever be put in that situation, but yet Daniel is able to get through that night with the lions because God was with him in that moment, in that instant. You have Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego thrown into a fire furnace. I've been around some campfires, and then I had to back away. It gets too hot. But you see, in each one of those moments, those challenging moments, those moments of, is God really going to come through? Is God really going to be here with me? Is Goliath going to overcome me? Are those lions going to eat me? Is the fire going to burn me? And yet, God was with His people in those challenging and tough moments. He didn't remove those things. He didn't make life where there were no lions, where there was no fire, where there were no giants. But God was with His people each step of the way. In Psalm 23, it talks there to us about being in a valley. Being in a valley. And what it says about being in that moment of the valley, it says that His rod and staff would comfort us, that He is there with us, not away. He hasn't abandoned us. He hasn't left us to go astray. And in fact, in the New Testament, it talks about one of the sheep who went lost, who got lost, went astray. What's it say about the shepherd? It says the shepherd left the 99 to go after the one because He cares for us. God is with us, and His presence ought to comfort us. He is leading us to somewhere better. He's leading us to somewhere with Him forever.
We'd like to invite you to worship with us here at the Somerset Church of Christ at 314 North Market Street. I'm sure you'll find a warm welcome here. So please come visit with us during our worship. At Sunday morning, Bible study at 9:45, worship at 10:30, and then again on the evening at 6 o'clock. We also have a Bible study on Wednesday night at 7. So please come and join us here at 314 North Market Street.